Listen up, Earth Angels. Being weird is your gift to humanity. Mm. We love. Ah, being weird is your gift to humanity. Okay. Most of us have spent a lot of time being afraid of being weird, um, being afraid that people will see us as weird, being afraid that we'll say something weird or we'll act weird or we'll look weird. But weird used to have a different meaning than the one we know today, which means bizarre, odd, strange. Before, in Shakespeare's time, weird meant fate or destiny. And to be weird meant you were someone with the power to control fate. And so that's why in Macbeth, he has the weird sisters who give Macbeth the prophecy. The weird sisters have the power to control fate. I think what is it? They spin, measure, and cut time, destiny, and whatnot. And yeah, so if we understand the original meaning of the word weird as someone with the power to control fate, then we have everyone afraid of wielding the power to control fate. And so as it is, I did another episode which is called Evil Wins because people don't want to make it weird. People are afraid to make it weird. And this was before I knew this original definition of the word. So people are out here letting evil win because they don't want to be weird. They don't want the power to control fate. But when we do that, if you don't be weird, someone else will do it for you. If you don't control fate, then somebody else will control it for you. And so as we have it, the only people who feel deserving, entitled to be weird are Donald Trump, are the Israelis, the Zionists, the Jewish supremacists. They're okay with being weird. In fact, they want you guys to agree that they're allowed to be weird. They're allowed to control fate. So it's actually your responsibility to be weird, okay? Your gift to humanity, your gift is being weird. Okay. Oh, let's get into this one. Let me introduce myself first, okay? My name is Sheba. I am a transformation specialist, sovereignty coach, and ex-lawyer, and I empower women, creatives, and leaders to unleash their true selves, walk in purpose as divine disruptors, and create the life of their dreams. And I'm a big old weirdo. I am out here wielding the power to create fate, wielding the power to control fate. So anyway, yeah, the original meaning of weird is to be someone who has the power to control fate. So yeah, in Macbeth, the weird sisters had the power to control fate. They gave this prophecy, and that is what happened. It's so funny. It's all really connected too. Because a lot of people kind of get caught up in the how things are going to turn out. But I keep telling you, the how is not up to you, baby. The what is up to you. Your job is to hold the vision, not figure out the how. The weird sisters in Macbeth, their job was to hold the vision. Their job was to see what the future held. Their job was to prophesy. They were in control of destiny, of what was going to happen. Their job was not to figure out how to make the prophecy come about. Their job is just to hold the vision. It's just to be weird. It's to have the power to control fate. And that's where your power lies too. It's a gift. And most of us are out here being afraid of being weird and people thinking we're weird. But like, if you take the old definition of weird as someone with the power to control fate, then people are out here afraid to control fate. As we think of fate now, we think of it as something that we are at the mercy of. It's something that is preordained and we are just, slaves to it. But like, what if the person who has the vision is the weird one? The person who has the weird presentation, like that's the prophecy. What you say goes. It's not your job when people are like, oh, well, how's it going to happen? That's not up to you. Your job is just to hold the vision and articulate it if you want. You can keep the vision to yourself, but you do have to know that like your job isn't to make it come to pass. That's going to happen in any myriad numbers of ways. So yeah, weird used to mean someone who has the power to control fate. And as, the play of Macbeth was performed, the weird sisters would dress kind of in strange, bizarre ways. And so the meaning of the word evolved to mean strange or bizarre or odd. But I think we have to go back to the beginning, baby. The original meaning, the foundation of it, which is someone with the power to control fate, right? And so, yeah, everyone out here is afraid of being weird. They don't want to I don't want to make it weird. I don't want to stand up. I don't want to talk about this thing. I don't want to dress in a certain way where people will think I'm weird. You don't want people to know that you have the power to control your fate. It also, actually, the weird sisters, they had the power to control fate, not their own fate, humanity's fate, everyone's fate. And people are out here afraid of being weird. They're afraid of wielding the power to control fate. You know who's not afraid of being weird? Donald Trump, right? Donald Trump's not afraid to look weird. And in fact, he looks weird. He acts in weird ways. And kind of whatever he says goes. He does have the power to control fate. Lots of people, when they hear him say something, they're like, oh my God, that's so crazy. That's so cruel and insane and evil. Oh, guess I've got to pack up and go invade Iran. What? So being weird doesn't mean that you're not going to have power. In fact, being weird just means you are willing to wield the power to control fate, to control other people's fate. So you can't be afraid to do it because that just leaves the worst, most immoral, unvirtuous, lacking integrity humans to be weird, to control the fate of humanity. So when you think about it that way, if you are weird, if you've always felt weird, if people have always called you weird, if you've always been like, oh, was that weird? You say a thing and you're like, oh my God, was that weird? Yes, you were wielding the power to control fate. You might still be afraid of that power. That's why it feels uncomfortable when you use it. But literally, when you make it weird, when you be weird, it creates reality. And when you don't, it also creates a reality, but someone else is controlling it. So whoever you're afraid of being perceived as weird by, they are controlling the reality. So many people are afraid to make it weird in their workplaces or in their groups or their communities or schools or churches or governments. And so they let Donald Trump do whatever he wants. He wants to, invade Greenland. Oh, gosh. Okay, well, I guess we have to figure out how to do that. He wants to invade Iran. Everyone's like, oh, terrible. Maybe we should get a draft together. Oh, my God. Make it weird. Because if you don't, These motherfuckers will do whatever the evil weirdo tells them to do. And they'll tell themselves like, oh, I don't, like, it's like they think they're a slave to fate. And so the person who has the power to control fate, everyone else is just like at the mercy of that person. So why can't it be you? You're that afraid of your power. You're that afraid of, controlling the fate of others. Why, babe? The weird sisters didn't have to be afraid. People can kick and scream and be mad, and they can do all they can to try to change the prophecy. But the fate, the destiny, the vision is what it is. You can kick and scream, or I don't know, you can just go with it. And so, yeah, if you're afraid of being weird, then that means you're letting someone else be in control of destiny, of the world's destiny. So if you're afraid to make it weird with your colleagues or the white people in your life, the men in your life, the Jewish people in your life, you're afraid to make it weird, then the Israelis get away with it. The white supremacists get away with it. Trump gets to create, the destiny for all of us that he wants to see, just because you didn't want to make it weird. That's why I'm always out here making it weird, being weird, controlling fate, destiny. That's why I'm always talking about the curse of the 8th decade. That was something I didn't make up. Jewish people wrote it down in their Talmud, their holy book. They wrote about the curse of the 8th decade, which is that no Jewish state will ever survive more than 80 years. It was written down by Jewish people in their holy book hundreds and hundreds and maybe thousands of years ago. They know it. The Israelis know it. They're terrified because they're coming up on year 78, I think. They know they don't have much time left. And if you understand that, their behavior now makes a lot more sense, right? They're trying to fight their fate that has already been prophesized. It's already been seen. They know it. So they right now are like Macbeth, trying to fight against their destiny, fight against their fate. But like Macbeth, all the fighting they do is only going to bring about the events that cause the fulfillment of the prophecy. So when you see what the Israelis are doing, you see what the Jewish supremacists are doing, they are screaming, they're crying, they're trying to intimidate people, they're trying to silence people and censor, they're trying to hide stuff and sweep stuff under the rug and change the meanings of things. They're trying to control the fate. They're trying to control destiny. But they're doing a really bad job of it. The destiny is set. Their destiny has been set in stone. It's been written in writing. The Israelis, the Zionists, the Jewish supremacists, Jewish people wrote down the fate of the only Jewish state thousands of years ago in their Talmud. They said it wasn't going to last more than 80 years. And they're right. And so I am okay with being weird. I love being weird. I embrace it. I think it's so powerful. Even the powerful kings, the people in power, they don't have the power to control fate because they're afraid of being weird. They want to be normal and respectable and professional. Bitch, I'm trying to be weird, babe. I'm trying to be in control of how this works out. And I know that I win. I know that I am celebrated. I know that I'm seen as this visionary, this prophet who, when most people were like, I don't know what that crazy lady's talking about, and ignoring and rolling their eyes, I was just like, okay, went along, did my thing. And when the time is right, they'll see. Like Sheba. Yeah. So being weird, having the power to control fate is a gift. and is a gift for you to control your own destiny. And it is a gift for you to use to control the destiny of humanity. So whatever you say goes. If you say the Israelis, Trump, the white supremacists, the men, if you say, oh, it's they've been in charge so long, it's like we'll never be able to stop them. I hate to break it to you, babe, but that's just you fighting against fate. You're afraid to be like me. You're afraid to be like, no, like women win. Women rise into their power and they reharmonize, rebalance the energy on earth. The bigger they are, the harder they fall. So all of these institutions, these systems, these structures that seemed so like entrenched, deeply rooted, carved into stone, they gon' crumble. The pain is going to come from trying to hold on to things that the weird ones have prophesized are going to crumble. So if you're not willing to make it weird, that means that the only people who are willing to make it weird, who are willing to exercise the power to control fate, are the worst among us, are the white supremacists, are the pedo men, are the Zionists, the Jewish supremacists. All because you don't want to make it weird. You want to leave it to them to be weird. You want to leave the power to control fate to the worst among us. Donald Trump can be weird. Donald Trump has the power to control fate, but you don't? Babe, it doesn't make any sense, okay? Anyway, I've delivered the message. So let me know what you think, okay? Like, comment, subscribe. Let me see, does this work if I don't know if it works as well on my hand, but we'll see. Doesn't work as well, but it still works, okay? Anyway, be weird. It is a gift. The original foundational meaning of weird, of being weird, is being someone with the power to control fate. So why wouldn't you want that? Be weird. We love a weirdo. All of our favorite people, all the celebrities that are like really the celebrities who were like elevated by the people, weirdos. RuPaul, weirdo. Right? Sheba, weirdo. Powerful, brilliant, has the power to control fate. So, be weird. We need that. Everyone suffers when the only people who are willing to be weird, who are willing to wield the power to control fate, are the worst of us, are the people who lack integrity. So if you've got integrity, you got to be weird. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think. Head on over to my website, ShebaNewmanBlount.com, if you want to work with me one-on-one. Go back and watch some of these episodes. And yeah, I got to tell you, like, my willingness to be weird, my willingness to wield the power to control fate is why I became the woman who went from easily receiving $5,000 every month to effortlessly receiving $100,000 every single month. And you can too. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. It's hot up in here, okay? So I love you guys so much. And I will talk to you, Earth Angels, later tonight. I got a tarot reading for you, okay? So come back and let's see what the spirits have to say, all right? Love you, Earth Angels. Bye.